Africa, especially West Africa, is developing at neck-breaking speed. Check out this great news out of Nigeria.
Nigeria has opened Africa's largest oil refinery. Outgoing President Muhammadu Buhari has described it as a game changer for the country as Nigeria seeks to put an end to the need to imported refined fuel products. The new plant was built by Africa's richest man, Aliko Dangote, at a cost of $19 billion or 17.5 billion euros. Catherine Viet has more.
The giant of Africa is arising. Once a country like Nigeria becomes powerful, a lot of the problems that black people face all over the world will simply start to vanish as respect isn't given, it is taken. Shout out to Nigeria, shout out to Aliko Dangote, and shout out to the rapid development spurred on mainly by the new energy in the youth. See, up until today, Nigeria hasn't taken full advantage of the natural resources that they have. Other countries have benefited in terms of just taking the natural resources for a terrible price or benefiting from it. The crude oil, which is, by the way, one of the sweetest crudes in the world. It's the same grade of crude oil that you see in Saudi Arabia or Kuwait. So it's easy to process, which is why this kind of crude oil is preferred by, the petroleum industry as opposed to the stuff that you have in America that is difficult to get to by fracking or is polluted and it has to be processed. It takes less energy to process Nigerian crude than it is to process, say, the crude from Norway, for instance. Let's hear some more.
It's been billed as a game changer for Nigeria and the continent. A new oil refinery built by Africa's richest man is set to start operating with the hope of alleviating Nigeria's chronic fuel shortages. Once online, the new $19 billion plant has the capacity to produce about 650,000 barrels a day, more than enough to supply the country's needs and even allow for exports, say analysts.
Once our plant is fully commissioned and it is on stream, we expect that at least 40% of the capacity will be available for export, and this will result in significant foreign exchange earning into the country.
You heard it from the great man himself. 40% will be left over for export, which is going to generate foreign exchange and revenue for the country. As it is now, the country subsidizes oil, which means it takes money away from infrastructure, medical, education, etc. This will bring in more money to the country and free up some of that revenue to develop the country even further.
Currently, Nigeria is Africa's largest crude producer, but it has lacked the ability to refine that oil due to pipeline vandalism and oil theft, making it necessary to import fuel. The government has been swapping crude for gasoline that it then subsidizes for the domestic market. The fuel subsidies account for nearly a third of the national budget, and the government has said they will be phased out. Officials say the new refinery in Lagos will also create tens of thousands of jobs. The complex includes a power station, fertilizer plant, and deep seaport.
See, the new president that has just been sworn in recently has already started removing the subsidies from the petroleum. So they really mean business. Another thing that I hope that Dangote, I'm sure that Dangote will be working on is reducing or harnessing the gas. Did you know that since the 70s or probably even earlier, natural gas has been just flared in Nigeria. So Nigeria has been wasting billions of dollars potentially every month by just burning gas into the air because the climate is so perfect, they do not need heating like you do in America or in Europe. That's yet another natural resource that could be pipelined, bottled, and sold to other countries as energy. So Nigeria has infinite energy supply and has a really, really bright future. So if you're from West Africa or you're a supporter of West Africa, this is something to be really excited about. The giant is arising.